I'm stuck on a mountain, sheltering inside the bus. Something is trying to get me. Part 3. The relentless snowstorm showed no signs of abating, leaving the cabin's windows ensnared in a thick frost, obscuring any view of the outside world. My forays outside were reserved solely for collecting snow to melt into water, a vital lifeline in this desolate landscape. Amidst the harsh winter, our most pressing concern was the scarcity of food. The Wendigo, a fearsome and malevolent presence, made venturing out for hunting an unthinkable risk, shrouding us in a palpable sense of vulnerability. Moreover, the waning supply of firewood added to our burden, reminding us that time was rapidly slipping away, demanding decisive action. However, there was a glimmer of hope, as the man had recovered from his injury, albeit carrying a permanent scar as a reminder of the harrowing ordeal. Seated at the table, surrounded by a haze of smoke from his cigars, the man's stern tone resonated with wisdom as he lamented my imprudent actions. Grateful for our survival amidst the brutal attack, he emphasized the gravity of the situation, highlighting the significance of the journey ahead. His determination to press forward was evident as he readied a formidable sawed-off shotgun, explaining its limited capability against the Wendigo, which would only weaken the malevolent creature, not vanquish it. The true way to defeat the creature, he revealed, was to burn its frozen heart, a perilous task that loomed ahead. In unison, we decided to set forth towards the nearby village, our only hope for sustenance and survival. However, the unforgiving cold and the deep snow made every step a grueling struggle. As the chill seeped into my bones and the biting wind lashed against my face, I found myself lagging behind, unable to keep pace with the resolute man. Though I urged us to turn back, my pleas fell on deaf ears, and we continued onward. Despite my struggle to keep up, I eventually caught up to the man, only for him to halt abruptly, leaving me bewildered and anxious about what he had seen. As I approached, I discovered a grisly scene concealed beneath a blanket of snow. A human corpse marred by vicious bite marks, with its organs savagely torn away. The sight was a chilling reminder of the dangers that lurked in this desolate land. The man's cold and uncaring gaze conveyed a haunting detachment from the horror before us. Overwhelmed and nauseated, I had to step away, grappling with the stark realities of our predicament and the gruesome world we found ourselves in. We continued to the village, our hearts heavy with dread, fearing what awaited us there. As we entered the village, an eerie silence engulfed the air, broken only by the howling wind. The houses stood empty, doors ajar, and the snow-covered streets were devoid of life. With every step, we encountered more corpses, frozen in grotesque postures, their lifeless eyes staring into oblivion. The village had become a graveyard, a testament to a calamity that had befallen its inhabitants. Among the dead, we found signs of struggle, claw marks on the buildings, and blood-stained snow. It was evident that a fierce battle had taken place, but it seemed that the villagers had been overwhelmed by the malevolent force they faced. The man's stoic expression wavered, his eyes betrayed a sense of sorrow and guilt. He had hoped to find aid and supplies here, but instead, we discovered a tragedy of immense proportions. Amid the despair, we noticed a faint, flickering light coming from the village's chapel. Cautiously, we approached, and as we entered, we were met with a sight that sent shivers down our spines. In the center of the chapel, surrounded by candles, we found a grim scene of devastation. The lifeless bodies of the villagers were laid out, each with signs of a fierce struggle. The chapel had become a makeshift morgue, a haunting reminder of the malevolent force that had ravaged the once thriving community. The man and I stood in solemn silence, paying our respects to the fallen villagers. We knew that they had fought valiantly against the Wendigo, but its power had proven too great to overcome. Realizing the enormity of the challenge ahead, we understood that the Wendigo was more powerful and cunning than we had ever imagined. The man's determination hardened, and he knew that our only hope lay in confronting the creature directly, even if it meant facing almost certain death. As the storm raged on outside, we huddled together in the chapel, preparing ourselves for the inevitable showdown with the Wendigo. We knew that the next encounter would be our last chance to put an end to the horror that had consumed the village and threatened our very existence. With heavy hearts and unwavering resolve, we readied ourselves for the ultimate battle that would determine the fate of not only ourselves, but also the souls of the villagers who had fallen victim to the Wendigo's malevolence. In the dim light of the chapel, we began our preparations for the imminent confrontation with the Wendigo. The man meticulously crafted traps and weapons using whatever materials we could find. He taught me the best way to use the shotgun against the creature, emphasizing the importance of precision and timing. As the hours passed, the man's stern expression softened occasionally, revealing glimpses of the camaraderie we had developed over the course of our harrowing journey. He shared stories of his past, of battles he had fought and lost, and of the people he had loved and lost. It became evident that he saw me as a surrogate family, someone he had taken under his wing in this bleak and desolate world. As we approached the fateful moment, our hearts pounded in unison with the storm raging outside. The man urged me to stay hidden during the initial confrontation, knowing that the Wendigo's focus would be on him. He had seen its power firsthand and knew the chances of survival were slim. I protested, not willing to let him face the creature alone, but he insisted, emphasizing the importance of my role in delivering the finishing blow when the time was right. We left the sanctuary of the chapel, venturing into the biting cold where the Wendigo lurked. The snow whipped around us, adding an eerie backdrop to the impending clash between humanity and malevolence. The man lured the creature into a trap, expertly using himself as bait. As the Wendigo charged at him with terrifying speed and ferocity, the man unleashed a barrage of shots from the shotgun, each one hitting its mark. But the Wendigo was relentless, and even with its heart weakened, it showed no signs of backing down. In the midst of the chaos, I found an opportunity to land a crucial blow. With trembling hands, I aimed the shotgun, my heart pounding in my throat. But just as I was about to pull the trigger, the Wendigo veered towards me, its clawed hands reaching for my throat. I stumbled backwards, fear gripping every fibre of my being. The man, without a moment's hesitation, threw himself in front of me, taking the full force of the Wendigo's attack. I watched in horror as he was thrown aside like a rag doll, his body limp and motionless. Rage and grief surged through me, fueling a newfound strength and determination. Gathering every ounce of courage, I steadied myself, focusing on the Wendigo, my hands no longer trembling. As the creature turned its attention back to me, I remembered the lessons the man had taught me and fired the shotgun with precision, hitting the weakened heart of the beast. The Wendigo let out a spine-chilling howl, its frozen heart shattered, and it fell to the ground, writhing in agony. This was my chance to deliver the finishing blow. Summoning all my strength, I grabbed a makeshift spear nearby and thrust it into the creature's heart, ending its malevolent existence once and for all. As the storm subsided, the silence that enveloped the village was deafening. The man, lying still on the snow-covered ground, had sacrificed himself so that I could have the chance to vanquish the Wendigo. Tears streamed down my face as I realized the cost of our victory. With a heavy heart, I whispered my gratitude to the man for all he had done, promising to honor his memory and the memory of the villagers who had fallen. I knew that the journey ahead would be lonely without him, but I also knew that his sacrifice had given me a chance to survive and carry on the legacy of hope and bravery in the face of darkness. I just want to thank Reddit user SRBIN_04-1389 for allowing me to narrate this story. That was the third and final part of I am stuck on a mountain, sheltering inside the bus. Something is trying to get me. If you like what you heard here, please show the author some love. I'll leave a link for the original story in the description below. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. And as always, stay tuned for one more nightmare.